Welcome to the Bendito Show. This is episode 6, y'all. Episode 6, which means we are past the pilot stage.
Pilot stage, that's
and
right.
This is officially a show, ladies and gentlemen. We got
right.
Abraham. You got Naum here. And it's our privilege and pleasure. That's what I want. That's what both of them. To host this event, which is basically it is an event every Monday night.
We got a hot topic tonight, though.
We got a hot topic, and yeah, man, I've been looking forward to this, man.
Yeah, so we might as well get into it. What's happening in the news?
What's happening in the news? Y'all tell us. I mean, what's a hit right now is that Joe Biden couldn't go up the stairs.
Yeah.
In his airplane,
Air Force One,
and he tripped, and it was ugly. And that's basically everywhere. I don't know what else. What else is on the news?
You know, something really sad that I just saw. There's a building in Bradford that burned. It didn't burn down to the ground, but there was a big fire in the building. 8 people were injured. So we'll be praying for this family. We have a church out there in Bradford, and I know the church is willing to help in whatever way they can. So we'll be praying for these families and the people who were hurt. Hopefully, insurance covers everything, and they get back on their feet soon.
Everybody's searching right now. What building in Bradford?
Yeah, there was a fire there. I just saw it.
Yeah,
So it's very sad. I hope people stay safe out there, especially in the pandemic. You know, people have to be displaced, find somewhere else to live.
Cases going up in Ontario. I don't know what's going on with the coronavirus, but we can't seem to get over it here in Ontario.
Well, the U.S. government wants to give the Canadian government all the bad vaccines.
Right? That's a little trippy. I don't know. I think we got to have a conversation about that.
1.5 million doses of AstraZeneca. Why they don't give us Pfizer? Give us some more Pfizer.
I don't know. Like, if everybody was, already had the vaccine and was vaccinated in the States, then yeah, maybe you can give it. But
they said it's going to expire before they're able to vaccinate people with it. So they're giving it to us.
That's the explanation, huh? That's what they're trying to trick us with.
All right, let us know you're there. Hit us up on the chat. Share the link. Subscribe if you haven't done so already. This is the official launch post-pilot of the Bendito Show, and we're going to be here for a while.
That's right, folks. So, with that said, we're going to announce something very special here to begin the show and also at the end of the show. If you really like the Bendito Show, if you're really about supporting this podcast, then we did indeed open up a Patreon page. Yeah.
Somebody suggested it, so we did it. Looked into it and we did it.
Exactly.
So we're up on Patreon.
Look, we wanted to do 5 episodes as a pilot after 9 to 9. Let's test it out. Let's see. I think we have a good dynamic here. And you know what? We want to keep it going. We got some fire subjects, topics, guests that we want to have on the show. And we think that you guys can be really, edified and also be a part of this community. So if you are willing and want to support this community, support this podcast, that means you can go to the link that's in the description of this video, and you'll see there, become a Patreon supporter.
That's right.
And that's it. That's it. You know what? You follow the link. You'll see what it looks like. There's 3 categories. You either like the show, you love the show, and I think the third category is you really, really love the show. But I'll say this now, and I'll say this at the end of the show. If you sign up on Patreon today, you're going to be entered to win a $25 Amazon gift card.
Oh, that's nice.
Hey, that's nice, man.
That's
$25.
Nice.
Right
Go
now,
there's
0 Patreon supporters. So the chances of you winning that,
it's high.
Pretty high.
So you can go there, sign up.
Yes, that is true. All right, man. Anything else that we want to discuss? How was your weekend?
I don't think we want to hold people back any longer. Let's just get into this.
Somebody told me to start the show with some song called "Tempted to Touch." Tempted to touch.
What song is that? It's a music impia.
It's some. I think it's a Toronto man that wrote that song. Anyway,
no secular music on the show.
Listen. Before we get to it, though, the weather's getting nice, man. It's getting real nice. Like, I'm so glad that
Is it going to last?
I don't know. People say that, second winter is on its way, but I think we're past that. man, we're the middle of March. It's looking real nice.
That's good. Go out there and
you know
enjoy
what?
it.
It's looking so nice that I think girlfriend and boyfriends want to go out and get, jiggy with it. Want to get a little bit more close and stuff.
And Corona.
And that is why I think we got a
Boyfriend
hot
and girlfriend
topic.
suffered during Corona.
Yeah.
They couldn't get together.
So tonight, we want to talk about touching. How
showing.
much can you touch
Or show.
while dating? Wow.
Okay, so before we do that, this episode is a little bit, because I know a lot of people watch that are younger.
Yes.
Like we're going to leave it up to you, maybe up to the parents. If you are old enough, this is going to be PG-13. It's not going to be explicit. PG-13, but if you're old enough to handle this topic. Because you know what? 13-year-olds, 14-year-olds, even 12-year-olds, they're doing it too. Right? So we have to talk about that. And we have to talk to that group. Right? And what are we going to, how to preserve yourself. And here we go.
We're not trying to push anybody over a certain line.
We're not encouraging you either.
We're not trying to, get touchy. And we are going to get into some very interesting conversations and topics tonight. But, yes, this is an important
so let's
disclaimer.
Go. We're going to start off. What's the verse?
Man, usually we kind of take a moment, to kind of get into it, but we're just going right in.
We're just going to go.
All right, listen. How much can a guy and a girl touch while dating? All right? I'm going to start off by saying that the Bible doesn't directly have a clear, defined guideline on dating itself. Okay, there isn't like rule 1, rule 2, rule 3, rule 4, rule 5 in terms of dating.
I have my rules.
Exactly. All right, but the Bible itself doesn't give you a specific dating guideline. But it does say something very interesting in 1 Corinthians chapter 7. Let me read it for y'all. It says, "Now concerning the things of which you wrote to me." I really wanted to read that verse because clearly the people in Corinth were asking Paul.
They're worried about it.
Yo, Paul, how much can I touch?
Yeah. How much can I do?
Paul responds back and says, "It is good for a man not to touch a woman." And if you actually look at what Paul was trying to say there, he was saying, folks, it's okay for you to be single and celibate. If that's in your time, in your season, enjoy it.
He was talking to single people.
Single people, enjoy your singleness. Verse 2, it says, "Nevertheless, because of sexual immorality," because it's a thing, "let each man have his own wife, and let each woman have her own husband. Let the husband render to his wife the affection due to her, and likewise also the wife to her husband." I love these verses, y'all. The wife does not have authority over her own body, but the husband does. Oh, it doesn't end there. It says, "And likewise, the husband does not have authority over his own body, but the wife does." Ay, Dios mío.
Yeah, I mean, we're not going to get it into authority of the body, but the first point is sexual relationships are for husband and wives.
Yeah.
Married people.
This show is based off of the Christian perspective.
Yeah, it's a Christian show.
It's a Christian show. So don't attack us about this topic because we are going based off of something that is so direct in the Bible here.
It's a Christian show.
Sex is reserved for marriage.
That's it.
All right? You have that question. You're asking
Before that,
why?
it's called fornication.
Yeah.
Fornication.
Listen, if you want to get into a conversation as to the why, we can absolutely talk about that. Like, why do you think sex is reserved for marriage?
That's a long topic, but today we're not going to talk about that.
There's a lot of points to that, but we are not here to discuss or argue that.
No.
Especially when the Bible is so straightforward on that.
If you're Christian and you want to argue that, there's so many verses. Like, this is not a gray area. This is a clean yes or no.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. In fact, can I say something real quick? I was watching a show on Netflix. I don't know if you guys have seen it. It's called Marriage or... what's the word? Marriage or Mortgage. All right? It just came out on Netflix a few weeks ago. And there was a Christian couple on this one episode. And basically, it's a realtor versus a wedding planner. And they're trying to convince a couple to either have the wedding of their dreams or the house of their dreams. Right? And it was a Christian couple. And they came out and said, we cannot have sex before marriage. And so the wedding planner was like, oh, my goodness, I'm definitely going to win these guys over because, they're waiting for that. But what they were doing, they were engaged. They had all their stuff in one house, but the guy every single night would go and sleep with one of his friends. So right now they weren't sleeping together. Like they were showing that this rule cannot be broken. Like if they were truly gonna say they're Christians, they cannot be sleeping before sex.
Good. Okay. So since we established that, okay, now we're gonna start from the top. Okay.
Yeah.
What can we do when dating? You're not married, and by dating, I don't mean somebody you've been seeing for long. It could just be somebody you meet up with and somebody who you like. You shouldn't do anything at all with those people, but it happens, right? So yes, somebody's asking, is it a sin? Yes, it's a sin, fornication, and people who practice it are not saved.
Yeah, they go to hell.
They go to hell. Yes, that's right. So you need to repent if you're practicing it outside of marriage. Now we said we're going to start from the top. Okay. Boyfriend and girlfriend, can they kiss? Just kiss.
Of course.
Just kiss. Okay, good. Okay, somebody's saying hold hands.
Of course.
Kiss on the cheek, kiss on the mouth. Okay, this is where it gets interesting. What about places that are not designed for that or that can lead to something else? So, for example, kissing on the ear, kissing on the neck when dating.
Oh, is there something that arouses around the ear or the neck?
Yeah, for most people. For most people, yeah. Otherwise, it wouldn't be a thing.
Look, so as we start asking these questions, it's true. There are certain parts in the human body that as you start touching it, it activates and arouses sexual.
And we're staying away from the
reactions.
private parts for now. Staying away from the private parts for now. We'll get into that. But kissing in the neck, kissing in the ear. Yes or no?
That would lead up to the question of, is it okay for us to be aroused?
Yeah, it's okay. It's natural. You have, like, I mean, this is the thing. It's natural for you to be aroused. You could be aroused by hand touching. You could be aroused by hand touching. It's natural. That's inside the body, right? Like, you can't stop that, right? So, for example, in the old days, the old ladies used to tell the younger girls, even in church, like when you're kissing him, like in the mouth, like if you get close to him, you can feel if, you know, if he's a real man, like, you know, if his stuff works or not. Like you can, not with the hands, but like with the body.
Yeah.
So yes, it is okay for you to get aroused. Definitely, because otherwise, that you don't like this person, or you're just not aroused by this person at all. So it is okay.
Oh Lord.
That's not a problem.
So I think if we're starting at the time again, we're gonna develop this point.
Okay, hold on. Somebody says, no, don't think so. It will open doors to other things, and boundaries are important until marriage. Okay, what are you talking about, Maciel? Are you talking about kissing in the neck, kissing in the ear? Suriel is saying, nah, I don't think so. Things get tempting and dangerous. Not a lot of people have self-control to be playing like that. Oh, so some people do? That's what you're saying? Why would you trigger arousal like that? You literally asking for it. To be careful. And then it says, boundaries. I think boundaries should be set because some things might not affect the other. And that's what I mean.
Yeah.
And I know a guy would have said that. And we talked about that. So Maciel is saying, yeah, she's talking about no kissing on the neck, no kissing in the ear. Yeah, I'm with her. I agree with her.
Okay. All right. Well, it's okay. We're trying to clarify some of the, I guess, the main questions that we have. Like, for example, we're saying if you hold hands, then you'll want to kiss. And if you kiss, you'll want to touch more. So,
you're going to want to. You're going to want to because you like this person. That is natural. That's the natural attraction, right? It's in your body. Now, should you do it? Should you do it? Right? Should you go and kiss somebody in the neck or in the ear? Right? It shouldn't happen. Okay, some people might say, for me, that's nothing.
Yeah.
Like, if my boyfriend kisses me in the ear, like a girl might say that, or that's nothing. Or a dude might say, if a girlfriend kisses me on the neck, that's nothing to me. That doesn't do anything to me. Right? So, in that case, can they do it? can they go as far as kissing on the neck because they're saying this does nothing to me?
Y'all know where I'm gonna go with this in terms of the hearts, the intentions, the deeper things that I think are more important. Because you don't get into a relationship to follow rules. There are rules that come with
you
it.
do. You
No,
gotta
no,
follow
but you
the
don't.
rules.
But that's not what you don't get into it, right? For example, you love God because everything He does for you, everything that He's done for us, there is abundant of reasons and limited reasons to love Him. And then, as we love God, we learn. Hold on.
No, wait, because it's getting crazy. But go ahead.
We're talking some boundaries and communication. We'll get there, right? But I'm just saying that the rules, they come afterwards. And so for me, sometimes it's more important to talk about what it is that you're trying to get out of it, what it is that you're trying to get out of dating.
Yeah,
Like,
because
we're going to talk about the limits
you
and
start
how
off-
far you can go.
if you start off thinking, I want to sleep with this person, well, that's where you're going. That's not what we're talking about.
Exactly. So like the rules, they're useless if that is
Yeah,
what's
there are
in your
no
mind.
rules. The rules are you just want to hit and quit, right?
Exactly.
So
exactly.
that doesn't apply.
No.
What
yeah,
I'm
but-
saying is,
Okay, go ahead.
for Christians, we're talking about Christians, dating
but-
Christians.
But that's the thing. So let's
The
talk about the
intention-
dating. The dating. What's
The
the intention of
intention
dating?
is to go out with somebody, and from my point of view, Christians should only date when they're ready to get married. If you're not ready to get married, you shouldn't be dating at all.
Okay, but I got something to say. You can date somebody, and the idea of dating can be successful if you don't marry that person. Let me
It
be
could
clear.
be.
Because dating is getting to know somebody, right? And if you got to know that person and say, you know what, there isn't a match, there's no point on continuing.
Right, but you're-
dating isn't the goal to dating isn't to get to marriage.
But you wouldn't date
and-
somebody who you don't intend to marry at all, just to date them, just to see what it is to go out with this person.
Well, I hope.
Why would you do that? So no. So what I was laughing earlier because Healy was saying, what if they start sucking on your neck, like he a vampire? The dude is a vampire, a creature of the night. So, boundaries from the beginning are essentials, porque it draws a line from the beginning. Because at the moment, no one's gonna stop and set bounds. Hillary said, a big hickey, a big brown spot in your neck, right? And that happens, right? So, there are two people. There's another comment here. There are two people. Even if it may not tempt one, it may tempt the other. You have to understand both, right?
Yeah. I'm
So-
going to clarify something right here. Because one of the mistakes that I see in dating, in relationships, is that people are so focused on the rules. And it happens because, we know the rules, but they're more focused on that than on the person.
But you got to follow the
purpose.
rules first. I'm a rules first kind
But
of
the
guy.
thing is, it's more about building a solid relationship than it is to getting to marriage as a virgin.
Within the rules.
But the thing is what's more important? To get to marriage as a virgin or to build a solid relationship with somebody? What comes
To
first?
get to married as a virgin.
No.
You're talking about building relationship. If you don't have that as a rule, right?
It
What are
comes
you
second.
building around?
But it comes second.
But you're building around Jesus. And Jesus said you have to get to marriage as a virgin,
Yes.
right? So, and that's what this is saying. Leave room for Jesus. So
You
you're
can
building
get
around
to marriage
Jesus.
as a virgin with the wrong person, though.
Okay, but that comes after. That's what I'm saying. That comes after. You're not going to put the relationship first. Because the person might say, well, I need to taste before I buy.
No.
After you have a solid relationship,
Yeah.
the person might say, give me a proof of love. Prueba de amor, they used to call it.
that's
Show
not-
me something.
Yeah.
Like that girl in that Instagram post, right? He wanted to see something. So show me something because I need to know before I buy. I need to taste the pudding, like I need to taste the ice cream, whatever you call it.
Yeah.
The whole point is the foundation has to be Jesus. Everything
Absolutely.
else is second.
But the thing is, I think developing an ethic on purity, it's more important to actually see the purpose of what you're doing than looking at the rules of what abstains you of the things that you can't do. And let me just clarify here. Like, I would love it for people to get into a dating relationship thinking like my goal is I want to know if this person matches with me to get into marriage. I'm not saying that you have to sleep with them. Absolutely not.
No, I get that.
But there are some people that immediately what you're looking for is, can I get to marriage as a virgin? And I think that.
But nobody looks at marriage like that.
No, but the thing, people do, bro.
How could you look at marriage just as, can I get to, but, listen, half the people agree with me, half the people agree with you. Tilsa is saying, why you marry the wrong person? Because no te aguantas. That's not right. You need the foundation. But this is what happens. To build that foundation, how long does it take? 3 years? 3 years. 3 years is a good foundation. I think 2 years for young people that are younger is a lot. 3 years to create a good foundation. Right? So, in those 3 years, as you get close to each other, the rule has to be, we're not going to pass this limit. Even though you're getting close. That's what I think we're saying the same thing in a different way.
I'm just prioritizing differently. That's all. And in my priorities, I'm not saying, actually, I'll be careful with my priorities because I don't want to say it's less important. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying
but the priority has to be stay holy.
That.
That's the priority. Stay holy first. That's the first priority. Second priority is let's get to know each other, right? Because if they can't agree on the first priority, everything else is down the drain. If they can't agree on stay holy first, nothing else counts.
Yeah, but you know what? I think that's where we disagree because I don't think that because you're holy and another person's holy, you guys make a match. I don't agree.
No, that's not what I'm saying.
I don't agree with that.
But that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that has to be the first point of agreement. We will stay holy.
You see, for me, it's a given.
It's a given that you're going to stay holy?
Again, we're going to have to get back to this point.
You have to talk about it.
We're going to have to get back.
But okay, you have to talk about it. Okay, let's say this. They agreed to stay holy, right? Both of them.
Yes.
We agreed to stay holy.
Yes.
Now, within that holiness, and this is what we're discussing, because there's no discussion, like you have to be holy. Within that holiness, how much can you touch and how much can you do and stay holy? That's the point, right? How much can you touch and how much can, regardless of building the foundation, talking about finances, education, things you like, things I like. My mama don't like you, my daddy don't like you.
Okay.
My cousin thinks, whatever. God is, no, sorry, not God. The two people saying, we're going to stay holy. How much do you touch? We have a whole bunch of comments there. I'm going to read some. Elias is asking, what if arousal doesn't lead to sex? Then people get frustrated. First thing, relationship first leads to, well, if you really love me, prove it. Yes, Suriel, that's what I'm talking about. Type thing. And that's where things get messy.
Yeah,
if they don't agree to be holy.
Okay, hold on. No, so who was that?
That was Suriel. Wait, hold on. There's more. Til's saying another thing, you got to have chemistry with the person physically and mentally. You got to have chemistry with the person spiritually first. If God is not number one for both of you, something's happening here. Something's wrong here. After, physically and mentally could happen, right? Because what I'm saying is, if you are dating somebody, you're obviously attracted to them physically already. Like, why would you date somebody who's not attracted to physically?
I think we're taking one path here where I think there is sometimes a multitude of it. And so the foundation, what happens there, it's not the same for everybody. It's not the same for everybody.
No, the foundation is not the same for everybody.
And so, sorry, Suriel had said there, it's a common expression where it says,
put in the relation first leads to, well, if you really love me, prove it. I agree with her.
No, but I don't think putting the relationship first is going against God being your first. That's not what I mean. Like, I think the best way to take a look at it is the relationship we have with God. Mm-hmm. We don't have that relationship because of the rules. We have that relationship because of the purpose that is there.
We have the rules because of the relationship.
And we want to serve him.
Yeah.
And then out of that, there are rules that we obey. For example, friendships. Yeah. You don't get into a friendship because of the rules that you guys place. No, you guys get into a friendship because of the love, the camaraderie that you guys have there.
As soon as you call it friendship, a lot of things have happened by the time the friendship develops. And that's what I'm saying. To call it relationship, to call it dating. Because if you go, we're not saying go on a date. Because to go on a date, you see somebody who looks nice, who professes to be saved, you can go on a date, right?
Yeah.
And you can go on 2 dates and 3 dates, but you're not going to start a relationship if you realize this person don't love God
Yeah.
first.
Absolutely not. No.
And that's what I'm saying.
No.
So we're saying the same thing. It's just that you're taking it from when the relationship starts. At that point, it's a given that we've decided that we'll be holy first. So I agree with you there. We've decided when the relationship starts,
yes.
at that point. But when you get to know the person, first date, if on the first date, because you know the rule in the world is 3 dates, imambo, right? That's the rule in the world. 3 dates. If it goes well, we're gonna do this thing. So, if the person has that mentality, you already know this is not gonna work.
All right, we'll move on from this step 1. Because really,
we're gonna have another show.
Yeah, we're gonna have
what
to
to do. Date
dating.
number 1, date
Yeah.
number 2, date
Yeah,
number 3.
We're gonna have to have a conversation on this because, and this is the last thing I'll say here. I have seen it, man. I have seen Christians get married and they're so, attached to the rules. Like, yes, we made it to marriage as virgins.
But they hate each other.
And they don't even like each other.
Yeah.
You know,
I've seen that.
And so it's like, why
I've
do you
seen that.
even
That's
get,
not what I'm saying.
you know?
That's not what I'm saying.
And I know that's not what you're saying. So let's talk about something that's key here, and it's communication between the two individuals.
Right.
Right. Communication between what kind of boundaries we set, I think, is important. You said it in terms of, well, we want to communicate that we want to stay holy.
Right.
We want to communicate 1 Corinthians 7 that says sex is for marriage.
Right.
Okay. So before that, what is allowed is
So, and
between those two people.
That's what we're talking about. So, we started with kissing the neck and kissing the ear. And everybody said no. I didn't hear anybody say yes. So, is it even worth it to continue?
No. You know what? I'll say there are people out there that say, and this would be my mistake number 2, is I am less susceptible, I think that would be the word, to certain kisses or touches. And
right.
I got to disagree with that. There is a fairly high amount of
hormones,
attention, of hormones between 2 unmarried people.
Single people?
Oh, between 2 people who like each other, who possibly love each other.
Yeah.
There is some crazy traction there.
They got that cheese building up.
They got that.
Yeah,
they got that
they
going,
got
and it's burning. And it's burning.
Yeah.
So I don't agree with the people that say, yeah, you know what, I'm just never going to fall because of that. All right?
No.
So we'll go off of that, and we'll say there's definitely things that lead you towards that.
Right.
Now, is that thing the same for everybody? Like that thing that trips you to everybody to?
No, but there are things.
I think there are things that are general.
Yeah.
Like, for example,
things that are general.
A guy and a girl chilling on top of a bed by themselves. What's going to happen?
Nothing. Potentially nothing could happen. They could just chill. I don't recommend it.
The Bible?
I don't recommend it, but they could just chill. I wouldn't put myself in that position. Like, if I'm a single person, you wouldn't put yourself in that position because you love that person. And this is the thing. The more you start getting to know the person and chilling together, you start holding hands, then you start kissing, then you start doing this. If you're chilling in the bed together, and he leans in for a kiss, and then stuff starts to happen, like, how do you stop it after? Right? So the limit is, don't put yourself in situations that you have to run from. Because Paul said to Timothy, run away from youthful lust.
Yeah.
Right? And I believe any kind of touching is lust, is youthful lust. Any kind of touching, like touching the breast area of the female or the guy downstairs or the butt or whatever. Like, none of that should exist in dating. Now, somebody may say, well, I need to grab something, like, I need to, when you buy avocados.
Yeah, you need to test to see if it's firm,
you don't got to test
ripe.
nothing. You ain't got to test nothing. You got to pray and bring your fleshy self to the altar. But
here's the thing, because
what's reality though? That's my
kind of like
that's my
Abraham's
perception,
ideal.
and that's what it should be.
That's like Abraham's ideal.
That's
because
right.
that's the thing.
But
The
what's
Bible
reality?
isn't specific to tell us, well, if you take your hand and you put it in the extremity of this person, like it doesn't say
Yeah.
that. So are we saying that this subject is left up to people to make it up on their own, like
No,
on their own?
no. So
do people have to make this up on their mind and say, well, you know what? You can touch me up to here, and that's okay. And then the other person tells you, no, you know what? You can touch me up to here, and that's okay.
listen, somebody might say, you can touch me up to here and that's okay. But it's very hard after somebody's aroused to stop. It's frustrating. Right? And I watch a show on this. Not a show, like a documentary. There was a pastor there. He was saying, it's so frustrating when a woman is teasing a man or whatever, a boy teasing a girl, especially young people, like younger people. They have all that energy. And the dude is like crazy. And then she says, no, we're Christian. We can't go no more. Okay?
Yeah.
First of all, it causes incredible pain for the dude. Right? So then the next time, they're going to get closer and closer. Closer and closer. And every time, like, kissing here, kissing there, touching here, touching here. It's better you don't do it. It's better you go back to dating in the old way.
But let's look at other reasons why it would be important to have limits in touching. Because I think, personally, when it comes to kissing and holding hands, if somebody tells you don't kiss until marriage, that's extreme.
That's crazy.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that's extreme.
I'm going to say something right now from my heart. If somebody's giving you a class on love, take a look at their background. I honestly, like, I've been always a little bit weary of listening to lessons of something maybe somebody hasn't lived or gone through. So
that depends.
And
somebody
it depends.
Could teach
it
on
depends.
something.
Yeah, somebody could teach directly what the Bible says.
Yeah, just
but
teach what the Bible
sometimes
says.
what I've seen is like, don't kiss until marriage, and like that
I wouldn't say that, but some people have done that.
Yeah.
But
anyway,
like I wouldn't say that to my young people. Like I would say, if you need advice on dating, get it from a reliable source.
So
that's
look,
going to give you good advice.
Look, what I'm trying to get to is, why should we have limits in touching? Right? We've already said one. We don't want to cross the line to have sex with somebody because we know that it's just there's no maybe, there's no question on that. The Bibles are completely against that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna hit it from another from another point or another point of view, which would be a person's testimony too. Yeah. Like dating isn't a 100% sure thing that you're gonna marry that person.
Yes, it's not.
Okay. So I'll be honest. Like, I was totally okay with holding hands and kissing, but I didn't really kiss in public. Like, to be honest, like, it really would, like, you wouldn't find me, like, just, like, kissing out, like, in public, nah, like, that ain't gonna happen.
Brendan Naoon against the wall in the church. You gonna say?
I mean, I'm not gonna say that maybe it didn't happen. In terms
that's what I was gonna ask. Like,
y'all just didn't see it. But what I'm trying to say is, I wasn't trying to be fake with anybody else, absolutely not. But I was conscious of the fact that I'm trying to get to know somebody. And, up until we both decide to say, you know what, that's it, we've decided to get married. We were both, I think, careful in that regard.
Yeah.
And I think everybody should be a little bit smart with this. Because
you have to be careful.
Because, again, dating isn't marriage.
Okay, and you know what it is? You want it. So if you start kissing somebody, like, you start hugging, kissing, and you're close, like your body parts are touching, okay? Nobody don't kiss like this from away. Like, don't nobody gonna do that. That's a lie. If you think that's what you're gonna do, that's a lie. Because you get to know this person, and then you're all hugging. Even the hugs. Have you seen the hugs people do these days? That they're not dating. I call them chest hugs, and they're like, the girl and the guy would go like this, and then she would do like this and open up, and he would do the same and just close in. I'm like, what kind of hug is that? Don't hug me. Well, I don't hug other women anyways. I just shake your hand, Dios te bendiga. But all I'm saying is, all these hugs, all these love, like, it arouses the dudes. So, and it arouses the girls too. So, all I'm saying is that you got to stay away from that. You got to stay away from that. Brenda says that's fake news. There was no kissing against the wall in the church. So, You got to stay away from that because it arouses people. And as you get confidence with somebody,
Yeah.
you're going to do more things. Like,
Now, yeah.
if you go to a swimming pool with your boyfriend or girlfriend, right? What does she wear? Like, is she showing? Like, if she's showing it, what's the problem with trying to touch it? And if your guys are getting into it and, you know, it's getting steamy, your hands automatically move where they're going to move.
So this is my next point with why I think limits in touching should exist. And
forbidden frontal hug. I like that.
I think that leaving things for its due time is better
And
than
it's a blessing
getting it
too. And it's
than
a blessing.
getting it before.
And it's a blessing too.
Like, you know, I think one of the advices that was given to me was that from a relationship, you know, they had dated for a while, they went into marriage as virgins, and that's what they told me. They said, listen, now get to it like to marriage.
Yeah.
Because you are going to have that freedom.
That's right.
To be able to explore things that you simply, first of all, shouldn't be doing while dating, and you like enjoy the things in its due time.
That's right.
Like, you don't want to get older than you should, you know, like, you don't want to, you want to live in the times that God has the things for you. And so that would be another reason for it. And what I would say in terms of the touching and something that you can use to navigate with at home and, you know, in your dating relationship, if it feels closer and more intimate than what it should, then you're probably past the point.
Yeah.
Like, I think as Christians, the Holy Spirit, God's presence, like in our conscience, I think we get it. I think we get that feedback.
Yeah, but you know what is feeding this generation is you got to sleep with more than one woman to know which one is right or something like that. Like, you got to try all the guys. Like, you got to try a Korean guy and a Chinese guy and a black guy.
Come on now.
You know, once you go black, you don't come back. But, you know, you got to try a white dude. Like, look, all these things.
My friends would always tell me, like, how are you going to settle for just vanilla?
Yeah.
Like, you got to go out there and taste some more flavors.
Chocolates. Yeah, they say
I was like, I love vanilla.
Yeah. You got to, the thing is, if you find the person that God has for you, then you can experience a lot of joy with that person. Right? So, you know, God created sex to be enjoyed and married, and that's what you have to do. So in terms of the touching, you were saying something critical, right? And I think we pulled away from it, which is if a girl, or let's say a dude, because a lot of pressure is put on women, but, well, more.
And I'll get back to that, though.
If a girl...
I'll get back to that because, you know what, some people say that it's, you know, it's the guy that wants it and not the girl. And that's a lie.
Most of the time, that's what it is.
No, man.
But I get
it. Come on now.
No, but most of the time, that's what it is. But what I'm saying is, if a girl has gone out with 10 different guys in the church, out of church, and all the dudes are talking, like, I did this to her, I did that to her, I did that to her, I did that to her. Her testimony is ruined. Now you got a good guy, like my boy Kevin. He's single. He's a great dude. The best single bachelor in the Nazarene district. And then now he's hearing, you know, that girl did this with that dude, did with that dude. Now Kevin's saying, I don't want to deal with that. Or the other way around. If a dude is with one girl now, another girl later, and, you know, the good girl comes by and she hears, well, he's been with that girl, he's been with that one, he's been with that one, and they talking. You ruin your testimony.
Now, are we saying that people that have had sex before marriage are viewed differently?
I'm not going to get into that. Maybe we should do a different show.
I will
They
say
shouldn't
this.
be. They shouldn't be.
They shouldn't be.
They shouldn't be.
And I want to say this, that, you know, this isn't unforgivable. Like,
no, it's not.
Like, that needs to be clear because, again, if we're looking at this at the Christian perspective, you know, it is true. Unfortunately, in reality is that men who have sex before marriage are often treated, you know, like that sin is worse than others.
Church.
Like that sin is worse than others, and it's not.
In the church. And it shouldn't be.
And you know what? This is good because I was going to leave it to the end of the show. But if you have fallen in this way, know that you know, it's not like you can't come back out of this. You know, again,
you can come.
You can come out of this. There's no transgression that God can't restore
from anything.
Yeah.
You can be restored from anything. So if you fall in that, don't feel like you have to keep doing it, you know, to be liked or to whatever. All you have to do is, come to God, repent, and go from there.
Somebody in the comments said that they're married with 4 kids, but
this feels like an R-rated show.
Still feels like rated R. Woo!
No, we're not saying anything crazy. What we're saying is that stay away from it. Because you know what the reality is? In most churches, they don't teach this, right? No. And if they teach it, they don't clarify for the young people. And I'm clarifying for the young people. Don't let nobody kiss your neck, your ear, your chest for the girls and for the guys.
I'm not gonna get into any specific body parts, to be honest.
Yeah, body parts, because
you can.
So that people understand, right? Don't let anybody touch your privates. Like it's conducive to sin, and it is sin, in fact, if you started, because you already started the process. So, because a lot of guys, and maybe I'm ruining a lot of dudes' mojo, and maybe a lot of girls, as you said, but I think focus more on the guys because they push for this. You keep pushing the girl to this point, and you saved or she's saved. Leave that girl alone. You're supposed to take her closer to God, not push her away, right? We shouldn't be so close. You shouldn't allow yourself to get into that position. So there's no touching. Like the question is, how much touching can you do in marriage, in dating? Yeah, hands right here, wrist right here, right here. That's it. And if you're going to kiss moderately when you're dating so that you don't get in trouble. I'm telling you, it's like Paul said to Timothy, again, run away from youthful lust.
Yeah.
Run away from it, which means don't entertain it at all. And if you think you're strong, the Bible says those who think they're strong should, strengthen themselves more.
That's and mistake number 3 that I think that happens is that people don't respect the fire. They don't respect the fire
they
that
think they can control
there.
It.
And so I'd rather go off of these general rules, and then you make your own conclusion in terms of, kissing on the cheek, kissing on the lips, because, I don't know, maybe some people don't even like to kiss on the lips. I don't know your thing. But there's a fire there that, it absolutely exists.
Of course.
And if we don't respect it, then you're basically disrespecting God's creation. Because the thing is, God created us with this.
Yeah.
Like, it's there for a reason. Like, we know it's real.
It's
like,
when
marriage. You say, oh, no, I'm
not
going to fall for that. It's like saying, okay, like, are you broken? Is something wrong with you?
You're going to fall for it.
You're going to fall.
Yeah.
And so we can't be ignorant to our DNA. Like, we can't be ignorant to the fact that there's some that exists in us that
desire is there.
That desires
but it's there to be stimulated when you get married.
Yeah. Listen, I want to get somebody to give us a call. All right?
Sure. There's a lot of people there. Like, somebody says, like, aren't we in the middle of Panini Press? I don't know what that means. Is this a lot of pressure? I knew the show was going to be hot.
Yeah.
It was going to be...
Look.
But it wasn't going to be hot in a sexual way. I mean hot because it's a hot topic among young people. Because you know what? A lot of young people, they do it. They fall into it. Right? Like, some people, like, why do we have so many people at camp? To check. Right? Because, some of us, not so holy. Not us. When I say us, I don't want to include.
I just want to say, for anybody out there who's been a supervisor, when I have left my cabin, it was just to be with the boys. I just want to hang out. We just wanted to have some good times.
Yeah,
had nothing to do with
we got to have those supervisors. Like, I'm a supervisor at camp. I've had to break up groups. Like, what are you guys doing? It's 3 o'clock in the morning. Like, you understand what I mean? Not that they were doing anything funny, but I'm saying.
Yeah.
Young people radiate to that. They radiate to it because you're in the flesh. That's why you got to run away from it. I can't stress this enough.
Listen, I want somebody to give us a call. I want somebody to give us a call and talk to us about why it's important, for there to be limits in touching.
Oh, my God.
Okay.
Isaac says his sister will date a eunuch. I don't. Well, Amelia's going to date a eunuch. Oh, my God.
Look, man, you and I, we got to have a conversation, though, about this rules and the priority of a relationship first. Because I'm a bit, afraid though to get into a relationship, and like the first thing we're gonna do is talk about rules.
That,
And I'm not like
okay.
obviously we're talking about that there's unequal yoke in terms of dating
Okay, but you're saying
non-Christians. We can talk about that.
relationship. Get into a relationship. In order to get into a relationship, you got to have a couple of dates.
Yeah, okay, but we're talking about dating.
No, but okay. Dating to me is when you've already been on a couple of dates and you're boyfriend and girlfriend.
Yeah, but you can't. Nah, that's the thing, man. Like people try to get way too serious with dating too fast. You gotta give it. You gotta let it be natural and organic.
Okay, but if you're not serious, what are you doing kissing? The less you should be touching and kissing.
Yeah.
If you're not serious, then then it's like it's a given. If you're not serious because you saw something crazy, like he yelled at his mom or something, and you think, well, this dude crazy.
Yeah.
Or she crazy. She crazy. Let me go. She crazy. If you think that, don't even get close. Why are you getting close?
All right. Who's gonna give us a call? I definitely we got some people online.
Amelia should call. Amelia, you're being set up with a eunuch. That's crazy.
Oh Lord. Guys, I'm gonna plug it in right here. We still got some time here before the show wraps up today. But today was and is our 6th episode of the Bendito show. That means we are live and we're here to stay, and we want your feedback and your comments. But it was suggested, and we had the idea, here and there, to set up a Patreon page. And so if you guys really want to support us, if you really want to see this continue, if you really want to see Abraham, Shabrahama, I don't know if you guys are on...
She's not coming on the show.
If you guys are on Instagram, but there's more of that. If you guys really want to support us and see more of this, jump on the Patreon page. It's on the description. And for anybody who signs up tonight, you're going to be entered in a draw to win $25.
Amelia should call us.
Gift card.
Amelia should call us. I want Amelia to call us. She's a worship leader. She's a dedicated Christian.
Oh, boy.
I want to get her point of view on this. Or maybe Isaac. Isaac can call us. Somebody call us, and, let's talk about this. To me, there's no negotiation. Don't let people touch you. Don't touch nobody.
So let's also talk about advice. And another thing that I see with couples in the church is that they keep it to themselves. They get into a close friendship and then relationship, and they're dating with somebody, and they don't talk to the pastor or a leader or somebody who's been there before.
Yeah.
And it creates this disconnection between the people that want to keep you accountable, between the people that love you, between people that want to see the best for you.
People who may know something about the person that you don't know.
And so I encourage you to be the one to start that relationship with your leaders. Like, build that up and say, listen, hey, dear pastor, here, youth leader, youth pastor, whoever you are, I am getting close to this person, so and so and so. Like, you have no idea how much, help you would be able to get along the way. And it's not bad to get help. Like, if you think that all relationships are perfect, and just because you two are Christian, y'all are wrong.
No, that's not
y'all
the case.
are wrong.
Some people just don't match up.
This is my thing about getting the rules down, but not the relationship. Like, that's what I'm trying to get to. And so don't be afraid. In fact, I encourage you to seek advice from people who've been there before.
Yeah.
And so...
Yeah, you have to seek guidance.
I almost missed a call here. Oh, my goodness.
Who do we got on the line?
We have a very young and single person on the line.
Single? Is that Amelia?
We have a very young...
Hey, you there?
Hello.
Isaac. He not single.
Yeah.
He married.
The one and only. What's up, brother?
Both of us.
Oh,
so it's a married couple that's going to talk to us about this. So what do you guys think about this?
Yeah, tell us about how much touching was there.
No, don't tell us about yourself.
Well,
that's private.
Before marriage or after marriage?
No, wait, hold on. Tell us what you guys, as leaders of your church, think about touching with dating. Don't make it personal. I don't want to hear about that.
Speak from experience.
Honestly, it can be a very heated situation that has to be a hot situation that has to be controlled, and the only way that it can be controlled is establishing the love and relationship you have with God.
That's right. And not
As
touching
a,
them.
as a and not touching. Now, if it's something that gets out of hand and it is too heated, then avoid being in a place
Alone.
where
In
you're
a
alone
bed
with the other
together. Yeah.
person. Yeah, because the last thing you want to do is, go against your relationship with God and against what the Bible says.
That's right.
I think that the number one thing above all, before the amount of love that you can say that you have for the other person, is the love that you have for God.
So,
And
Kayla,
once, hmm
what would you say to girls in terms of finding out if their dude is like a real man or something?
What you
While
mean
dating.
real?
what I as a Christian person, as a Christian girl, my advice to another girl, whether they're Christian or not, is that first of all, love is not demonstrated in that way, and
Yeah.
There it is.
in my position, it's having a relationship with God and having God reaffirming that, and no man or girl has to demonstrate their love to the other person. Depending how they touch, or if you go to bed with them, or if you sleep with them, because that's not what love is.
There
No.
it is. So there's no
And what
proof.
about what about Isaac? You got anything to say?
Bro, yeah, sometimes I have to like drink a lot of cold water and say,
You
God help
married? Oh, you mean
me.
before marriage?
Before you were
Yeah,
married.
of course,
Mi amor, dame un vaso de agua,
before.
please.
You see, and
Yeah,
that's what
yeah, and
happened.
sometimes I remember saying, okay, baby, that's it. I have to go home and bye and run.
Ah, porque él era la
Yeah,
loca. Kayla was
No,
crazy.
yeah,
it's
She was
yeah,
because he
crazy.
couldn't control himself.
yeah. She's too much for me.
Isaac, you run. That's what you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
Exacto.
Cold water.
Como
Yeah,
Jose.
that's you run. Yeah, that's what I keep
Yeah,
saying.
Yeah. No, listen,
yeah, yeah.
I like what Kayla was saying in terms of establishing the relationship, establishing like
The love.
the love, the
Without
reasons
that.
there. Like,
Yeah.
why are we together? What are we trying to accomplish? I think that is vital. I think that's key.
That's what it comes down to: the relationship you have with God, the
Now,
love that you have for God.
yeah. Can I say, like, did you
Somebody
guys
say,
ever have
Isaac,
that
we're using both.
conversation though
Did you
of
talk
how
about it?
far is too far? Or was it a given?
No,
No,
not really.
we never had that conversation.
You see what I'm saying, bro?
We both
Yeah,
had the conversation of how much our love for God was,
Yes.
and the
exactly.
goals
Yes.
That's
that
the
we had,
conversation.
we would like to establish as a married couple, or as a
Yes.
couple together in the future, where we
Right,
would
Look,
want to be with God's
right.
look,
blessing.
I'm 100% on that boat because the thing is,
Okay.
you don't want to come out and be this crazy, I think, religious person. Like,
But
you guys still haven't built a
you're saying
relationship
as
yet.
if the religious. No, they said that they talked about their love for God. If somebody loves God, it's a given that they don't want to fornicate.
Bro, but that's what I was saying, bro. That's what I'm saying.
But
So nobody comes out and says, hey, listen, nice to meet you. I know we're going on a date here. I just want you to know, please don't touch my butt, don't touch my chest, and
But
then it's gonna have
that's
a
not
great
what I'm
night.
saying.
Damn.
But if he goes for it, what if he goes for it? Right? What I'm saying is that if the love for God is not established, the dude could go for it, and at that point, the rules have to come in to
But
play.
he can go for it even after it's
A
been
hundred
established.
percent, a
He could
hundred
go for it
percent.
even after,
Especially,
but they have to
especially
maintain
the
each other accountable.
relationships that it's either the guy or the girl that says, "Well, he's not Christian or she's not Christian. I'll convert them after."
Yeah,
Oh no,
that's a whole nother topic,
nah,
but that doesn't happen.
Exactly, it doesn't happen in a
Yeah, that doesn't
situation
happen.
like that.
No, that doesn't happen.
yeah. Well,
There it
listen.
is.
Anyways, God bless you guys.
Thank you so much for calling in, guys. We love y'all.
Love you.
Bye.
Bye.
And forgot to ask about Amelia, but that's what it is, right? You see, Isaac said, they kept it far, and he still had to go, shower. Well, he said drink or shower, drink cold water. He still has to go drink some cold water, and they kept it like PG, right?
Look, yeah.
So it's there, and why
Yeah.
test it?
Look, my conclusion to all of this, and I think you're going to hear this from me often, is build a relationship with that person. Have intentions and purpose in everything that you do. And I think this is the kind of life God wants us to live. I see quote-unquote Christians trying to not sin every single day, trying to not break the rules every single day. And I feel that they're going about it the wrong way. I think as we learn to love God, as we learn to live these holy lives, as we serve Him.
The rules are intrinsic.
Exactly. Yeah. And so don't go at this to try to follow the rules. You want to follow the rules, but through the right path.
Yeah, through the love for God.
Or else what we're going to be developing are these robots, are these people who they won't be able to react in a situation if there isn't a rule. Like, they're going to be like, oh my gosh, can I drink or can I not drink? And like, you won't be able to see your intentions, your heart. Yeah. And so for me, it's about building those good habits, building a life and a space where you can be holy. So that's what I would say.
Okay, then. In that case, two people are dating. They've been dating for a while, like the video. And then one of them says something crazy, like, show me something, or let me touch something. Right there. Do you break up? Do you end it? Or do you try to bring this person back to, we're supposed to be saved, babe, and whatever. So do you end it at that moment? Do you say, you try to touch me, you're not saved, you need Jesus? Or do you take a break and then come back? Like, what do you do in that case? If somebody comes to you as a youth leader and says, what would you do? What are you going to say?
Yeah, I think you have to review the moment. I think you have to consider, is that the first time that this happened? Have I gone like other indicators? Like, I don't think I would be quick to crucify somebody right away.
No, you shouldn't be.
But
I'm saying the girl, right?
Don't be ignorant of it. I think, like, and listen, this isn't just girls or guys. Like, or one of the, like, it happens to both.
One or the other.
It happens to both. So
what I'm saying is, nobody's just going to go straight for the touching, if you know what I mean. Some people, it gradually happens. Like, the touching starts and, hands coming down. And then he might say, oh, sorry, I made a mistake. To see what he is going to do or what she's going to do after. And if she says, no, let's leave that at that point, then the conversation's over. They keep dating. They end up getting married. It's a great dude, great girl. But it's what you said. If it keeps happening and this person's, pushing for it, you're going to have to end that.
I think what happens a lot of times is one of the individuals crosses the line.
Yeah.
And the other person allows it.
Yeah.
And, this is where I think communication is key, because you know what? I think there is always somebody that might be a little mature than the other one in certain aspects.
Yeah.
Maybe somebody's better with the finance. Maybe somebody's better in these other regards. And so that's where it can get a little bit tricky. And so, yeah, you got to be careful.
Listen, I don't know what people get from sleeping around or doing all these things. It's just worldly pleasure, but the pleasure in the spirit, like the joy of the spirit, is a lot better.
All right, listen, how do you wrap this up?
Yeah, I got a wrap up right here. I even wrote it down.
We're asking the question, how much can you touch while dating?
So this is my conclusion. Guys, you need to be pure in your relationships. Don't take her to that place. Don't take her there. Girls, don't entice him thinking that by doing this, you're going to keep him. That's a good man, girl. You better put it on him or something like that. No, that doesn't work. So if both of you are holy, it's called foreplay for a reason, not play, because it's supposed to lead to something else. Stay away from it. It's dangerous, and you could fall into grave sin, and even worse, like fall into sin and then live with the consequences. Both you get pregnant, because most of the time they say, oh, the girl got pregnant, but she didn't get pregnant alone. Both of you got pregnant, and you want to avoid that.
Yeah.
You could get sick too.
You can.
You could catch some kind of disease or something.
You can. Now listen.
You'll be scratching all day.
Yeah. What I will reiterate is, if you've fallen in this, if you've touched too much, if you've had sex, just know that it's not unforgivable.
Yeah.
You know, you can become better. Honestly, if you've already crossed the line, if you feel like, you know what, I've gone too close to it, it's not too late to try to reset it there with your couple, with whoever you're talking with. So that's for me is something that I think everybody should take away.
And if you haven't, and you're thinking about it, don't do it.
Yeah. And so dating, I think, is a topic that we have to, talk about. But I also, as we're talking about how much can you touch while dating, I think touching is really saying that you're in a relationship already that is getting serious. You're in a relationship that is bound for marriage. And as I said before, if it feels too close, if it feels too intimate, then what it should be at the point of your relationship, then you're probably touching too much.
Yeah.
And I just want to say that dating could be successful, as I said earlier, even if you don't marry that person, in the sense that if you dated somebody and you know what, you came to an ayuno and God's telling you, say, you know what, that just ain't your guy. And you're praying and like you say, you know what, that just ain't. You got to learn to let go.
The ideal situation is for you to marry the first person you date. Like I don't know anybody, maybe, but the ideal situation is that. Marry the first person you date.
Yeah.
So, and that works out. But if that didn't work out, that doesn't mean you can't find a great person because you dated some other people.
No.
But try to keep your testimony to yourself.
Exactly. And that's my last point with this is communication is key. Communication from right the beginning. What are your intentions in dating, in the relationship? Make it known. And I think things will be much better for y'all afterwards. Listen,
that's right.
This has been Abraham's opinion. This has been my opinion. You may have your own opinion.
My opinion is the right one, based on the Bible. Don't do it.
We
Don't
love
touch.
to hear yours. And so we
Not
want
touch
to
the
keep you guys connected.
Not touch the girl them, boy. Don't do it. And for you. That's all I'm going to say.
Listen, folks. Thank you so much for connecting. This has been the Bendito Show. If you want to support the show and speak to us directly, let us know what you want to see, how you want to see it, when you want to see it. We highly encourage you to go to the description of this video and join the Patreon supporters. You have some options there.
Yeah.
And, bro, I think that'll give us an indicator if we should keep this up,
Yeah, we'll keep it up.
We'll feel like people may be using us.
We're going to keep growing the audience and bringing, people to join us on the show.
Oh,
the pandemic is over.
I got to say something, bro. I know we're a minute past, but there was a survey done in London of a very large church. And the women of that church, 70% of that women are saying that they're waiting for the man to man up and ask them out on a date. So I just want to, give a shout out to all the single people out there to man up. I can only speak it from a man's perspective, but man up.
Yeah.
Ask somebody out. Talk to somebody.
That's right. Say something. Say something.
Say something.
Say something. That's right.
Come on now.
Roll up to her and say something. Say something biblical.
Man.
This is the Bendito Show. I wonder if Isaac put lime in the water.
You think?
He put ice in it and lime.
I mean, mejor que pique.
He drank it down.
That way you can focus on something else versus those
That's crazy.
edges.
The Bendito Show.
I think that's a wrap.
We got to do part 2 of this one, too.
Yeah. I was going to call Milka to see, how much did y'all really, really touch,
No, she doesn't like that.